evening. How are we doing tonight? Welcome to another MechWorks Hobby Chat. Nothing with that's what I called it? Yes, it is. Had a brain blank there for a second. Alrighty. Well, here we go again. It's number 21 on the 21st. That's kind of cool, actually. That the coincidence there is very strong. But tonight is Orc Night. More orcs again. And unfortunately, since you might be able to notice that all my fine point brushes have been trashed. This is the only half decent fine point brush, and it got dropped on its head. So I had to get myself some new ones. So hopefully these will survive a little bit longer. No guarantees, it is me. So, but yes, good evening and much Orky. So, Okie Boys. Okie Boys is also good. It's almost like they're saying okay boys there, Cinder. Good to have you here, by the way. Very nice to have your company once again. Hope your weekend was a good one. But tonight, three things I'm going to do. Hopefully, I want to base underneath this thing all black. Get in there with the black so I can just stick it down onto its base and then start painting soon. I'm gonna bring out the highlights and all the washes dried and everything on my Defcopter. Gonna make that look fantastic, hopefully. And I finally found my little Citadel handy dandy holder, so probably work on this later as well. But to start it, we'll get some black underway here. Now, it sounds like there's a storm brewing outside. The wind keeps picking up every now and then, and all manner of cool stuff like that, which is awesome. I mean, I love a good storm. But it does mean I may have to jump up and run off and close windows and doors and things if it kicks off, because I've got everything open right now, because it's also hot and humid. And less than fantastic in that respect. How have you been, Cinder? What have you been up to? Keeping out of mischief, I hope, or at least not getting caught. That's also important. Black. As for me, this weekend has been full on. It was a really, really good weekend, catching up with lots of friends, which is very nice. Today was a fairly intense day at work. Just lots happening there. Good busy, frantic busy though. So it was very nice to come home and just not do anything for a little bit. Aside from trying to fix up my aside from trying to correct my video review that had played up on me and hadn't worked and failed to launch and then got screwed up everything else. So it's very, very annoying actually. It's highly irritating when that happens. So yeah. So I missed my Sunday launch because my files were screwed up. Got to try and figure out what went wrong with the audio in that one. It seems to be fine in the RAW format, the raw audio, the raw video on my phone, which I left there, is fine. It's just the stuff that I copied to my computer seems to have got very glitchy. So something went hinky, and I'm not sure what. But I am sure I'm not happy about it. I'll live. I'm just irritated. Oh. You are indecisive about what game you want to play. Well, sounds like you have options at least. That's nice. I want to have enough time to sit down and give Phoenix Point a go. I really want to try that. It looks like Mass Effect with... Not Mass Effect. It looks like... what's it called? Brain blank. There's all the aliens invade and you got to defend them, and it's turn-based tactical. Can't remember what it's called all of a sudden, and I've played it a lot too. Typical. Anyway, that game that I can't remember reminds me a lot of it. What's it called? It's not Mass Effect. That's entirely different, an entirely different sort of awesome. XCOM. There we go. XCOM. Phoenix Point reminds me of XCOM with all the mucking about and all my favorite things about XCOM without all the things that irritated me. So that looks like a win to me. I just love to be able to, one, get it, and then two, have the time to play it. Well, what are your choices there, by the way? Is it? Oh, that's a little off center, isn't it? Whoop. Let's do that. Looks a bit better. What game choices are you thinking about, Cinder? What are you pondering? What are your considerations? What's your options? See if I can help you come to a decision on that. Did you hear that bang? Oh, okay, good. Just make sure it wasn't one of our doors blowing shut. Joe, wonderful wifey Joe, is joining me again tonight. She's doing some study across from me. Doing it very, very well, as usual, because she's a genius. Joanna says, good evening. I mean, clearly she's a genius. She married me, so... yeah, right. It's a terrible joke. You're right. Shush. I think that's looking pretty good. It's mostly the underside. Pokemon, Stardew Valley, hey, Dragon Quest. You know what? Stardew Valley, it's always a brilliant time. And if you get tired of it, you can just go, you can stop playing, then come back later and remember that you don't know where you were and start again. That's the game that keeps on giving. That game gets replayed so often, mainly because people forget where they're up to. It's an amazing game. My brother got me hooked on that game. I went down for a Christmas one year. I think it was a Christmas. It was just a holiday. It was anyway. I'm down with my parents, and he gets me hooked on this farming simulator game called Stardew Valley, which turned out to be a social simulator and a dungeon simulator and everything else simulator. And I became moderately obsessed with it. And I suppose I still kind of am. If I could get myself just a week with no interruptions, I'd probably sit down and play it for a full week. No problems. Alright, that is mostly base coated underneath, so that when did I just break my chain? No, I didn't. Good. So when I look at it from the top, I won't have too much to worry about in there. Because I'm really tired of having it just sit. I need it on a base for me to paint it properly, you see. Which is undoubtedly going to upset people, but that's life, innit? Cinder says hi. Jenna? Hi. And Joanna says hi back. I suppose there's a good argument to be made for just spray painting this thing. And I can see why people paint them as they go along. There's so much in here. But, that's just not what I did. Because blind building is too much fun. Just building them at all is too much fun, to be honest. But blind building, last week's blind build, that was particularly cool. I'm very much looking forward to doing another one of those. Okay. That's him based. Let's start looking at this here Wookie boy and get his colour. Put some colour on that. That's my thought. Alrighty, so I'll start with. I'll start dark and work back to light. I think I will, because that can stay dirty in there. That'll probably stay very untidy in there. Actually, not untidy. Wrong word. Filthy. Oh, look at that! It comes out of the little slip all damaged already. Fantastic. Love it. I have to trim the side off already. Great. Anyway. Oh. Anyway, so if I get that, you get a brand new brush and the bristles already stuffed. It's very, very irritating. Oh, how is the knitting going, Cinder? How is that progressing? Still on hold? Fair enough. And did you get any more of your minis painted? You just started that again, I believe. No minis either. Yeah? Trying to find motivation. It is that time of year. I've noticed that this is the time of year where motivation tends to dwindle. Drive kind of falls back, falls away. And it's very hard to keep motivated to keep going. And a whole variety of things. But it's late in the year and we've already had a year full of drama this year. So fatigue is a bigger player, I believe, at this time of year than it was for me last year. That's not too bad. That silver shines quite nicely. Honestly, with all the hassle and the COVIDs and the everything, it's just so much. I think everyone's just tired. Combine that with the media saturation of everything as well. I mean, I'm not really blaming them too much because we want to know and they report. So, but it's just just gets full on, and I'm just tired. I'm just fatigued, I think. Not seriously fatigued, thankfully. I've been truly fatigued before, and this isn't it. But you just get mentally drained. Yeah. Little metal highlights are coming along quite nicely. They're not too bright. I didn't want to go super bright and cheery on this thing because it is a poorly maintained orc built. Basically, it's a bucket seat with with helicopter blades, so it's not exactly the most finely tuned and well maintained piece of equipment. Does that look extra blurry to you? That looks kind of weird to me. Yeah, that doesn't look very good at all on camera, does it? And I set this beforehand so as to avoid all this, but it's not paying attention. Again. Now what are we at? I'm so sorry. That's a bit better, isn't it? Yeah, alright. Okay. I might just have to just start when I just setting the focus once I start the stream. I think in future, setting it up beforehand and then hoping it stays where I leave it just doesn't seem to be paying off at all. Also, fairly soon, I'm hoping to get that halo, the LED donut halo light rig for this light here, or that camera there, which should fix a bunch of other problems, theoretically. Nice and shiny bits in there, lads. But yeah, there's a local G-Dub store right near where I work now, which is really dangerously convenient. Been hanging out in there a fair bit on my lunch breaks, going down and check it out, have a chat, talk hobby with the guys, which is very nice. Very, very refreshing actually. Quite helps me anyway, refocus my day. Gives me something entertaining to do, and then I go back to work. Cool. You got any hobby stores up where you are, Pidgey? Like, do they exist up where you are? Or is it more something you just have to order online from up there? I remember one or two when I was living in that area, but not many. Ha! It closes at 2 before school finishes. Really? What is the point in that? Ha! What's it called? Does it have an online presence? Okay, fair enough. Closing before school finishes. That just seems to defeat... Alright. You can make a target market out of that, that's all. Go, coffee, go. Okay, boys. Yeah. Alrighty, so he's coming along alright, isn't he? That doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad at all. The silver is nice and shiny, which is the idea. Coffee in my mustache, which is not ideal since it's gonna have a funny smell later. Alright, a little bit of dry brush. Ah, come back. There we go. So did you get up to much on the weekend, anybody? Those who are listening in. Some of you are lurking, I noticed, which is wonderful. You're always welcome to lurk and listen. But for those of you who can generate the energy to type, how was everyone's weekend? And I'm not being sarcastic about the generating the energy to type. It's just that sort of drained out sort of start to the week. Yeah, all right. Ow. Do a bit of bronze. Alrighty. Oh, good news for the next time I do a build. I've got proper glue again. I won't be leaving chunks of skin behind on my models anymore. Because that was a little average. Not gonna lie. Not my favourite part of that build. Was pretty much ripping bits of me off to finish the model. Okay. Now, I am wondering, should I do another blind build next week, or should I continue with my paintworks? Because I do have to get all these things painted at some stage. But those blind builds are just so much fun. Eh. Alright, looking brighter. Slowly getting there. It also has occurred to me that I really need to find the propellers for this thing. I know I have them somewhere. I don't actually know where though. So I don't really want this gent along without propellers, because that kind of defeats the entire purpose of having a copter, doesn't it? But, oh well. We'll just see how we go, I suppose. Until I find them, it's just a really fast moving bike propelled through anger and the will of the Force. Okay. That is the metals done. Now moving on to we'll do a darker color again. We'll build up to the brighter colors. Get some leather happening. Any of the leather strapping I'll just go and do a little bit of a touch up on. Just to lift them a little bit. Not too much. I do want to keep this, like I said, dark and grimy looking. But at the same time I want the different components to stand out a bit. Nope, don't do that. Okay. I'll be tossing up different names for this Orky clan as well, and unfortunately for me, Clan of the Yellow Pants, as a joke name, has irritatingly enough got stuck in my head. Which I'm rather unhappy with, because I didn't actually really want to call them Clan of the Yellow Pants, but that may be where it ends up. Ooh, it's warm. It's very warm at the moment. I'm sweating. And I've got my beanie on so you guys don't have to deal with my shiny noggin. What do I do for you people, eh? And in this sort of weather I wouldn't just shine, I'd glisten. Was it not a great look? I could do the bandana. I could. I have to find a bandana. The brown actually looks pretty good. The brown is actually lifting out and actually standing out on this model, which I was not expecting. Should I do another a lighter brown highlight, do you reckon? Just really lift this brown out? I'm kind of thinking I should, because it is leather. It should look a little bit more stand out-ish. Yeah. Stand out-ish. Great wordings. I wording good. Alrighty. Actually got a D&D game coming up this weekend, actually. This weekend's going to be a little full-on for them, I hope. I don't want them to die or anything. Actually, they're too high a level to really be threatened properly anymore without breaking my own world. And they've got themselves in a position where they're pretty much safe from any primary or any real major threats, which, you know, is good. They've worked hard to get there, so I don't really want to punish them. At the same time, we've got to keep them on their toes. We can't get them all relaxed too much now, can we? And since they're on a flying ship, I have to try to come up with something that's both interesting but not going to destroy them the moment it looks at them. Because the quickest one is dragon. You know, that's a bit average though. I don't want to hit them with a dragon. That seems impolite after all the work they've gone through to get their ship and get their crew and, you know, get everything working. To go and slap them with a cloud dragon or something, it's a bit rude. There we go, that's a little bit light. I'm not sure if I like that highlight. That looks okay. What do you reckon? Slightly highlighted. That side looks a lot more highlighted than it actually is. Yeah, the gloves and the goggles stand out a bit better. What do you reckon? Yeah. The good news is I can discuss the game, the D&D game, because from what I can tell, none of the regular players actually lurk this channel. They're all very busy, you know, doing a whole bunch of other things usually. Serious gamers, that lot, which is excellent, and I'm not complaining. You know, those who wish to join me, you are more than welcome. Those who do not, I will miss you, sadly, but you probably got other things to do. Now I'm just trying out the, see if I can highlight the fur. Turns out this guy's got a big fluffy, like, neck. What do you call it? Oh, it's a fluffy bit on the back of a flight jacket. Which is kind of ridiculous, but awesome. For an orc. I mean, that's just great, isn't it? Fluffy flight jacket scarf neck thing. There we go. That looks actually pretty good. I'm rather happy with that. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh, I just got a smell of rain. That fresh tint in the air. Ooh. Very nice. Hopefully we get a bit of rain out of this. I love that smell. Does anyone else just love the smell of rain just before it rains? You know, it's like so good. Especially in summer in Brisbane. Or summer in Queensland anyway. That wonderful promise, that hint, that suggestion of what's to come. I personally love it. Even if it means I get caught in it. Hey, Xenomorph, how you doing? What's news? What is happening? Is hobby happening? Is gaming happening? Is life generally behaving itself? Are you yet to figure out the meaning of life, the universe, and everything? Or is it forever going to be stuck on the answer of 42? You know, those sorts of questions. Nothing too heavy, you just demand answers. And I'm not sure if I'm happy with that. I've just gone through, he's got black trench coat and stuff, and I've hit it with a little bit of grey just to try and pull it out. Not sure if I'm pleased with it or not. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. She doesn't look like anything. I'll leave it. I don't really feel like going back and correcting it. If it's not so bad it makes me want to cry, then I'll just ignore it. I'll take meh. I'll take a meh result of a paint job over a it's terrible, distractingly bad. And trying to overdo it might just make it worse. Gaming is always happening. Work has its ups and downs. And if you can figure out why to live to CC on that. Close combat on that? Collectible cards on that? Alright, he's coming along. He's coming along. The grey's kind of working. Fairly happy with the grey so far, actually. Let's see now. More grey. Alright, that's slowly bringing out a little bit more detail. Actually, I'm really quite happy with not going too bright. Extra bright on the gloves and the leather worked, because that's kind of meant to look a bit, suppose, more worn and readily observable. Observable? That'll do. Close enough. But keeping it a little bit darker on the grey and the general design, I'm happy with that too. Carbon copy. Oh, right. To copy you in. Right, yes. Got it. I see. Haha. Sorry. Paint orcs. Come on. Wow, alright. Paint wants to fight me. I'll fight you, Paint. So if gaming's always happening, Xenomorph, what gaming is currently happening? Are you gaming right now? The other important question. Yeah, that works. Yeah. He's looking pretty natty. Okay, so that's most of the grey picked up. Yes. And the silver and the bronze. Some of the and the leather is looking okay. Good. So next is the somewhat more difficult green of the orc skin, because I don't have a lot of options. Now I've used this green as a base because I like the darker green, right? And then I realised that all my other greens are kind of in the same spectrum. So I don't know what to do with that. I mean, I could go that one. I go that one, and I just need to get more greens, basically. I think that one might be a little bit too bright. I'm not sure. And then I got scary green, like screaming green. And I'm not feeling very well, boss green. And just highlighting green. So what else I got? Deathworld Forest green, which may not be too bad if I'm going with the olive. If I'm going with the olive style color scheme, but it still doesn't, really convey orky now, does it? I've hit a. So I basically hit a wall with the orky skin tone. And what is that noise? Can you hear that, Joe? Is it? You reckon? Okay. Sorry, everyone. I just heard a really strange tone. I was just making sure it wasn't coming out of here or something. Anyway. Oh, you like that one, do you? Hang on. That one being the last one. So you like that color combo? Kind of a filthy green, isn't it? Oh, wait up. Mr. Xenomorph has answered. I'm playing Doom. Brutal Doom. That's cool. And a bunch of VR stuff. Otherwise, you're waiting for the massive games coming out between the end of October and the start of December. Yes, I know. Oh, has anyone had a look at the Necromunda game? That I'm curious about. That I'm very curious about. You reckon? But, alright, so you reckon I should go Death Forest? Deathworld Forest Green. Those two, eh? They're going to look very khaki orcs, but that's okay. I'll give it a crack. Now, do I dry brush or do I try to fine brush it? Fine point. No, I'm going to dry brush it. Or at least going to splatter brush it. Get one of me screwed up brushes. The small ones. And just go and give that a go. Oh, the other question. Probably to you, Mr. Xenomorph. Is it true that the remake of the remastering of Mass Effect is either out now or out very soon? If anyone knows, please let me know. Specifically for PC, by the way. Oh, Cinder, I think you're a genius, buddy. I think it worked, mate. That's the arm with. Yeah, I think actually that's going to work very nicely. It's not too bright. It's not screaming bright. It's not screaming green. But it's still very green. Very undeniably green. Looks like the kind of green that would be in an actual skin tone, perhaps. Well done. Of course you're a genius. Yes, of course. Silence. I have to confess that Cinder appears to be a bit of a color genius. I don't know how I feel about that, but I think we'll just have to accept it as fact. Yeah, I know, but I'm always surprised. Yes, you have suggested really good stuff before, Cinder, but I'm always surprised. I think that's the thing. It's very cheeky, Murray. Gonna get yourself in trouble, son. Ah, no, don't spill it. Oh, that was close. I almost had orc green all over the shop. Probably deserved for being so cheeky. Yep, that green looks good. Green looks really good actually. So I'm gonna get in there with it as well. It's not, and there's no current release date for it, but whether it should be out for this Xmas, Christmas, maybe. Well, that's good to hear. And tell me, good Master Xenomorph, have you, like I said, have you seen or checked out or had a look at the Necromunda Gang Warfare game? Because that one really kind of like that speaks to me. Like this orc color, that was really neat. Very dark. This is going to be the color scheme for this army is going to be quite dark and very bright at the same time. I'm liking it so far. And I'm kind of glad I smashed those brushes up because now I've got some finer dry brush brushes. Dry brush brushes. Yeah, you know what I mean. Not going to try and say it again. It just won't work. Now, let's see. I think I got a fine point. Come. There we go. That's a bit of a finer point, I suppose, yeah? Gotta do his teeth, you see. Oh, that Mordheim game was quite good, wasn't it? Never got to play that one. I hear it was actually quite a good one. Sorry, just had to concentrate by holding my breath. Don't know why. There we go. Teeths are in. Teeths ain't looking too bad. You can't really tell on this camera though. Actually, I'm going to get rid of those other pots of paint so you can still see what I'm doing. Sorry about that, everyone. There we go. Is it still available to play? Mordheim? Is it still like are there a variety? Is there a good variety of gangs to choose from and opponents? And does the campaign or random generated campaign map still is that playable? Is that good? I mean, I'd love a game like that. I'd love another game like that. And I played Mordheim to death when it was a board game. When it was actually playable on tabletop. Loved that so much. Okay. Let's have a look at this orange. Now this is the bit that could suck. Because if I get this bit wrong, it's going to look pretty darn average. See the trick? That doesn't look... Yeah, that's not bad. The trick is you don't want to make it super clean all over. Because it's like worn. And still a bit dirty in places. And you can force a bit of shading if you do it carefully. Like, that's a screw up. There we go. Stuffed it already. Nice work, Simmons. You muppet. Blast. I have to come back on that bit. But, yeah, the orange pops. You like the campaign, but I haven't fired up a good while, so I couldn't see the health of the multiplayer. The campaign... Alright, yeah, I'm not really interested in multiplayer. Like, I don't really want it to be taking on other people. That aspect doesn't really interest me. I'm much more interested in single player, like, you know, like playing through XCOM or something. that's more what I'm interested in than any multiplayer experience, because I never really enjoy a multiplayer experience anyway. Look at them orange sharky teeths. Doesn't actually look that bad. I'm rather happy with that. Okay, on the edge there. Further back in again, dotting around the damage. Then it has a solid single player. Okay, it has a very solid single player. That's good, but you love it so that you're biased. No, that's okay. I'll accept that you have a biased opinion. I mean, that's what happens when you ask someone who enjoys something. But that's good. You still get, it's still a solid opinion. Ah, Cindy, you're not a fan of MMOs. Yeah, yeah. If it's an MMO that I'm forced into people interaction with other people, then I'm not keen. I did find my WoW experience as a solo player really quite enjoyable because I just nick off and go and not really talk to anyone. I might join a guild if it was just me friends, but random guilds I generally avoided. I just didn't. I'm not the MMO social player, so I ran off with me Warlock and me Beastmaster, and I just did my own thing. It was great. I of course don't have the time for that anymore with full-time hours, but if I had the opportunity, I would probably play it again and do exactly the same thing. Run around by myself, enjoy the scenery, follow the storyline. Fall off a few cliffs, get eaten by big monsters because I'm checking out the scenery too much. That seems to be the standard pattern of me playing WoW. Or if I'm playing with a couple of mates, as if Cowboy was online, he would attest, I will play a summoning elementalist. Summon a great big fire elemental to do all manner of damage to the battlefield. And then forget it's mine and run around screaming for help as I'm being chased by a giant fire elemental. Completely forgetting that I'd summoned it. Completely forgetting it was under my control. And completely forgetting that it would follow me. I got a fair bit of crap for that. I got a lot of hassle for that mistake. And rightly so. Alright. Well, that's that bright orange on the front. That's looking pretty neat. I'm kind of thinking about hitting it with a light, slightly brighter, I mean the really bright orange, just as some of the highlight points. So this is like screaming orange. We'll see if this looks terrible or not. Probably will. But if it's too bad, I'll just, paint over it again. No harm, no foul. No, that actually stands out kind of nicely. Unlike the little jet fighters, this doesn't overwhelm. Isn't that interesting? Well, I find it interesting. I find it interesting anyway. A little bit of extra kick in the orange there. Nice. Not too bad at all, that. Let's see if I can accidentally ruin it or not. Nope, that didn't suck either. Well, how about that then? I think no one expected that at all. There we go. Nice. Nice screaming orange out the front. Ha! Suitably terrible. How's work going? There. How's work going, by the way, Zeno? And thank you. Glad you like it. Okay. Now let's pull some more yellow out. Whoop. Far too much on the brush there. Sorry, I was concentrating again. My bad. Can't go silent on a stream because you're the only one making noise, Murray. Do what you do best and continually babble. That's looking pretty good, actually. Yeah, right. Using that, pulling out the highlights on the yellow. Looks quite nice. Gives it a bit of lift. But I love keeping it nice and grotty underneath. Like, I don't want to touch it all up because I just can't abide a clean orc vehicle. Suspicious. Means they're up to something. Clearly up to no good. If the vehicle's clean, it's a trap. Or it's brand new. Equally dangerous, because that probably means the orc driver is out to prove something. Yeah. Okay. Of course, the question is, do I use a really, really bright yellow as just key point highlights? Thinking I will. But very sparingly. It's not something you want to overdo. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'll use the canary yellow. I call it anyway. To really lift out just some primary light points, I suppose you could call it. Oh. Okay, so work is getting down to the... It's now attention to detail as well as getting your job done. That's good. Sounds a little stressful, but also... Oh, no. There we go. Yeah. So it's always a trick with orcs. How much detail do you go into? How rough do you leave them? I mean, there's a difference between, looking rough because they're orcs and looking sloppy because you're lazy or you're bad at it. You don't want to look lazy or bad at it, but you want to keep, want it to keep character, don't you? Well, that's good. I'm glad you want to do a good job at your job, Zeno, because that is why people hire people. In fact, it's rare quite often people just, it's much more common for people just to take a job at the moment and just do it because there's money attached to it and they don't really care about it. Which is strange in the current climate, but the fact that you want to do a good job is fantastic. And I applaud you, sir. I applaud you. Right. Yellow on the sides and the top, looking pretty good. And I haven't done the front yet because I'm trying to avoid it, because it's going to be a lot harder and much more likely of me stuffing it up. Which isn't irreparable, just annoying. Okay. Yep, okay, coming along, coming along. Alright. I'm starting to take an interest in Age of Sigmar again, as well as 40k. And I was considering doing a blind build for one of their big beasties or something, but to be honest, the Age of Sigmar models, whilst extremely awesome, are also kind of simplistic. Not a lot of parts, not a lot of components. Push it together and you're done. It's all kind of obvious where everything goes. Not as much fun, I don't think, as mechanical blind build, because there's just so many little bits and you don't really know what's going on. Much more fun to do. There's that. Yeah, that's looking alright. Well, it's good to see people getting back into the hobby, though. I mean, I like it. I got a mate in the army. He's an officer. He was telling me how he just recently jumped back into the hobby, just like this weekend or something. He's only just got the time to sit down and do a bit of work on it, and it's good to hear. I think it's important for people to have a hobby. Gives you something to do, gives you a bit of a distraction, and quite frankly, the world right now, we can use distractions. Doesn't mean we should be unaware, just means we shouldn't ruin ourselves with the information out there. That's my opinion anyway. When did this get all deep? It's all your fault, no one's talking. So I have to tell you what I'm thinking. That's your fault. You all you. Oh, can't argue with it. Well, there we are. Well, there's a question. What is since we spoke since last Monday in a full 7 days spread now, what's the dumbest thing you've seen? Try not to use any names. What is the single most breathtakingly dense moment that you've actually witnessed? It's been a bit of a slow week for me, so the only one I can actually think of is where the dude jaywalked right in front of a cop who just looked as surprised as everyone else did. He's just staring at the dude as he's jaywalking right in front of him, and the cop's just shaking his head going, "What are you doing?" Alright, not sure how that looks, not sure if I'm happy with it. On the front there, looks a little scrappier. Oh, broadswords here. Heyo. Heyo. I'm so sorry I did that. Anyway, hello. That's much less doesn't make any better. Anyway, starting again. Hi Broadsword, how you doing? Welcome aboard. Tonight I am working on me Orky Deathcopter, and it's going fairly well. Glad you're doing well, buddy. Glad you're doing well. Nice you've been avoiding me again. I keep saying, "Hey man, let's do a thing," and you're like, "No, no, I got a life." It's like, oh, it's all good, mate. You had a chance to get much hobby done yourself, Broadsword? I'm hoping you did. Yeah, dad life, mate. I understand. Well, I don't understand personally, but I get it. Oh, Plague Marines. Getting the stinky boys up and rolling. Very good. I've come down to the last few of my Zentian troops. I'm so close to having just 25 power level. Just a PL 25 little unit done, but I just keep getting distracted by other projects. I just need to stop and finish them, you know, and then I can call them done. But no, no, so many other things are distracting me, like my Warcry models and some Age of Sigmar stuff. And then, oh, look at that, I've got more scenery to build. Scenery to build for a table that isn't getting any use. All the distractions in the world. Oh, and then there's real life stuff, work and having to sleep and all those annoying things. That's not terrible. By Mortal Realms Mag. Oh, cool. No, I didn't get the Snake Boys. I picked up the Spire Tyrants and just grabbed some Iron Golems as well. Because they look mean. Well, that and I can use them in my Chaos Army I'm building. Okay, that looks okay-ish on the side there. That looks a bit scrappy though, doesn't it? In there? That looks a bit untidy. That doesn't look very hard edged. I have to try and fix that. There's not much point doing this if they're going to look rotten. That's a bit better. Yeah, here the turret's actually particularly good to use on the table. Don't know what their playstyle is like yet, but I hope to find out soonish. There we go. Tidied that up nicely. That's okay. That's the trick to these things. You want it to look worn and used, but if you don't give it a hard edge, the whole shark teeth effect just doesn't work. That's looking pretty neat, actually. It's like the only band you haven't played against. Oh, you are getting to do games, right? I see. I see. Just not with me. I'm not upset. I was gonna try and drag that out, but I can't. I'm just glad you got to play some games, mate. Sorry, just got to try and concentrate on getting these lines right, because that's going to be a bugger to fix otherwise. Do not want to have the drama of repainting all that orange. Yep, there we go, looking nice. Yeah, here it's good. I'm yet to get a game in. I'm really keen to get a game in. But it comes down to time. Good old time. You can have every other resource on the planet, but time is not something we have enough of ever. Okay. It's coming along. Isn't looking terrible. Now, speaking of not looking terrible, I saw the new preview to that WandaVision TV series on Netflix, on Disney Plus, and that's looking trippy, like not so trippy. I am looking forward to that very muchly. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Bang, bang, bang. It's gonna look good. Gonna be happy with it, I think. This Deathcopter scheme seems to be working, much to my absolute surprise. Oh, and Phoenix, you can pass on to Jess that I'm actually thinning my paints every now and then here, just to get the proper effect. He doesn't have to report me. Yeah, okay, that's coming along. That's looking fairly good. I'm actually making progress, which is novel. It just hasn't felt like I've been making much progress when I've been doing these paint sessions of late. Which is annoying because you don't like you want to at least be remotely interesting to people who are watching. Nope, that's too strong. Darn it. Paint is too strong a color. I wanted more shadow there. Too late to go back. I do hate that sometimes when you're painting, you're trying to go for a particular effect and then you overdo it, so now you just gotta try to even it because it's hard. It's actually easier to just forge ahead than try to go back and repair. So forging ahead it is. Alright, still doesn't look too bad actually. I'm still relatively happy with that. Big difference between the darker side there and the nice brighter side. Of course, I'm yet to go and put me proper highlights on, which will hopefully not ruin everything, but we shall see what we shall see. But yeah, if you haven't watched it, go watch the preview. The WandaVision preview. The new one that was released, yesterday or today or something. And then come back and tell me what you think. Because I think it's looking pretty spectacular. Super bizarre. But very cool. And if that's and since it's meant to tie into the next Doctor Strange movie, if that's a example of what we're gonna get, whew, looking forward to it. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Yes, that's looking very good actually. That's matching what I was hoping to see in my head. I had an image in my head. I had an idea of how I wanted the colors to work. I had an idea of how I wanted the overall the finished look to feel. And this is it. This is what I wanted. So I'm rather pleased. That doesn't happen often. Quite often you gotta adapt and redirect an idea because it doesn't always launch. This doesn't happen. But this is what I wanted, and this is what I'm getting, and I'm very happy with that color scheme. He's looking neat. Oh, I'm very pleased with that boy. Go helicopter guy. Oh, now okay. There's the one thing I'm not looking forward to. I want to just take a photo of this moment and go, oh look how nice that looks for me. Well, I'm happy with it anyway. Because now I do the rockets, and I'm just not sure how that's going to play out at all. I don't want to do the rockets. I'll do something else. Where's me blue? And do something else entirely. I'll do his glasses. Technically harder, but not as irritating as the red and the white. Okay. Little blue goggles. I think I'll do shiny silver surrounds on those goggles. Or do I do black? What's going to look better? Black edges or silver edges? I think I'll go silver. Oh, Cinder Pidgey. Silver. There we go. Those silver goggles. That's looking pretty neat. Apart from the big splodge of silver I just dropped on the inside. Right in the middle of the blue, got a big splodge of silver. Very nicely done, me. Well done, Simmons. You muppet. You had one job and you failed. Good work. I just gotta put some more blue back into them goggles, and that's fixed. Haha, there we go. Corrected on both sides. There we go. So, there we go. Yeah, you're right. Cinder, the silver goggles, the silver trim on the little blue goggles look very nice. Really works. Now for the rockets. Alright, can't keep putting it off. I want to, but I can't. So, let's get splattery. It's going to dry brush the rockets at the front because it makes the most sense to have kind of like the weathered fade on them. I don't particularly want to have to come back and do them again. Don't know why I'm so annoyed by these rockets. I really don't. It doesn't make any sense, right? Doing the bombs is the best part, generally speaking. I think it's the fact that if I stuff it up, it's going to stuff up royally. It's right in the front, too. That's probably why. Yeah, it's not looking terrible. So I keep running. Hello, hello, Flynn. How we doing? Good to see you. Good to have you here. Well, I'm finishing off my Def Copter. Got some. Let's try that again. Finishing off my Def Copter. I got some nice bright colours in there now. I got some deeper darks. Got some shiny metals. So I've deepened up some of the darker areas by highlighting other bits. So I've fixed up his gloves, his hat, goggles, his face. The Orky skin is a more olive green. It's a very dark green. I'm enjoying that. And now we've got the now we've got the yeah, we've got the yellow and the orange teeth pattern on the front there. And now I'm just working on the bombs at the front, hoping they don't stuff up on me, because then I've got to get in there and tidy up with some of the white, because you can't really get in there with the grey. I'm not doing straight white, it's just too bright. But generally going well. Yeah, thanks. The teethy part. It looks dirty and worn, and that's the idea. You know, it's meant to look busted. It's meant to look old. This is not. Oh, we're back on camera. This is meant to look like a poorly maintained vehicle. Yeah, good. Very good. Made my day, Flynn. Evening. You, yeah. So, have you been? Are you doing well? Skits passed on your greetings, and I greet you back. Are you getting much hobby done? And what sort of days ahead of you? There you go. A whole bunch of questions with poor time delay. And it's first thing in the morning, which is too many questions for you, I'm sure. There we go. Nice bright rockets at the front. All right, the red rockets don't look so bad. I'm okay with them. Oh. Now for the white, the grey. I can't just go and dry brush that because that is going to get nasty. Oh, good, you're a morning person. That's nice. Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to show everyone this guy. I've been working on on some Age of Sigmar stuff, and I've gone and done myself a Chaos Warrior, but I've used Space Wolf colors. So I've used the good guy color scheme on a villain, and I'm really enjoying it. I really like the way it's come up. So I'm very, very happy with the finish on that. So I'm going to be doing all my little Chaos Warriors, painting them up like with a hero color scheme. Oh, more posts from Flynn. Have not done painting in a while. Come on. No, if you feel it, that's good. And it's just pretty much work all the time. Yeah, that's pretty much everyone's boat at the moment. Flynn, everyone's just working or existing. And I'm glad you like the look of me little Chaos dude, because I reckon they're going to look pretty good as a unit. And it's also going to be really funny to do the hero color scheme, or the good guy color scheme across what is pretty much the the iconic bad guys of any fantasy anything. Chaos Warriors are so the villains. There's, like in 40k, Chaos is kind of, some of them you could just go, they're not really bad. They just had enough of the corrupt and oppressive empire. Nah, not in Age of Sigmar. The bad guys are really bad, which is kind of fun. All right, if you're playing Chaos, you're definitely playing the villain faction. Alright, that doesn't look terrible. Doesn't look too bad. We're tracking for time. 10:20. Oh, going alright. Going okay. As I was also saying, I've got to go find the helicopter blades. Because right now it's a silly looking motorbike. Alrighty, well that's alright. What do you reckon? Is the front too bright? I don't think it's too bright. I think it's okay. I think using the red blends in well with the orange. It goes red, orange, yellow. That kind of lessens the severity of that color scheme at the front. But that is pretty much him done. What else do I have to do there? Oh, there's a bit of piping down here that could use a bit of highlight or just freshening up. It's not really a highlight if you're just using the same color again. It's just lifting it out from the depth of the wash I hit it with, I suppose. A bit of a tidy up there. Might do a little bit on the inside in there. Orcs are pretty much meant to be flamboyant, yeah. But there's flamboyant and then there's distracting from the actual model that you've spent all this time to do. So that's what I was kind of trying to avoid more than anything else. It looking silly. I mean, it's already a silly idea, right? I just didn't want it to look super ridiculous. Yeah, it's true. I did. Yeah, that's a good point, Flynn. I did make a Titan look like a duck. So, that this is a little bit subdued, I suppose, isn't it? Keep forgetting about that. Alright, looking okay. Where's my orange? Just saw a couple of things I could jazz up a little bit with some orange. Just some, looks like rags or cloth wrapped around things, and it's already got a dark colour, so it won't really hurt to dry brush a bit of orange over the top of it. Yeah, that works. It's a fairly subtle colour. Funnily, it's not really orange, it's more squig brown, I think they call it, but I think that's it for this flyboy. Aside from having to find the flaming propellers, but yeah. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. And I think I actually finished the model under time. Yeah, there we go. That is one Def Copter. Sans propeller. I'll find that propeller and then I'll get that sorted and attached. Now, in the actual army, there'll be 5 of these guys, all jetting along in a squad, which I'm looking forward to doing a lot. Haha. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Rather pleased with that. He is done. Dun 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 dun. And now we've got this lad. Because I've still got a fair bit of time. I could work on this boy. Foot trooper. Clan Yellow Pants foot trooper. The test is actually looking quite good. I'm rather happy. As a test, I'm rather pleased. Right, I'll just tidy up some of the splash I got on there and move on. Have you been watching anything good, by the way, Flynn? Have you been able to... Have you found anything worth distracting yourself on TV with? Oh, I've missed this. I've missed a little handle. It does make things so much easier. Tyrant blind build. What do you mean? As in the... You mean like a Tyranid hive tyrant? Or... What do you mean by tyrant? Oh. Avatar: The Last Airbender for the first time. Recently started season 7 of Parks and Rec. Since its leave, Parks and Rec's really... I found it incredibly good at times. Other times I found it really kind of hit and miss. It's one of those shows to me. Kind of like The Office. I enjoyed parts of The Office, but a lot of the times it really kind of got under my skin. Don't know what to think about that one. Certainly couldn't say I didn't like it. That's for sure. I just don't know if it's... Yeah. It spent a bit of time annoying me, I think. Well, the characters really bugged me anyway. Some of them just made me want to slap them hard with a chair. Warcry. No, okay, backing it up there. Broadsword. No, I've already built me Warcry boys, and that was easy. That was an easy blind build. They all just obviously slot together. That's really obvious, you know. Nothing hard about that. I don't even think I looked at the instructions for that one. That was just... I think I was watching a movie and I was watching a movie when I put those together. It's got to be a degree of technical complexity for a blind build to be truly alarming. Now, which office? Broadsword? Oh, I'm talking about the American office. That was kind of annoying. Parks and Rec is in your favourite to enjoy. Easy for you to watch. Then The Office, yeah, see, Flynn, yeah, The Office is mean-spirited. The Office is just nasty. There's not a lot of nice about The Office. I mean, there's a bit of fun, but even the fun is usually targeting someone and tormenting them. Yep, I agree with Dawn Treader and Broadsword. And yes, Broadsword, they are just a push fit. I mean, a complicated push fit, sure. A highly detailed, beautifully done push fit, but certainly not a complicated build. Infantry really are, to be honest. They're really easy. No matter how detailed they are, it's just infantry. 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 head, some stuff. You know? Ooh. Let's not do that. There might be the occasional variation on that theory, but even then it's still a group of humanoid things. So, I don't know about blind building infantry. It just doesn't seem to... There's not much threat of failure. You know what I mean? And that's where the fun is. To be honest, blind building is most fun when there's a chance of catastrophic foul up. And that's cool. Ah, Flynn, yeah, you've binged Parks and Rec. Yeah, that's probably easy to do. And small doses of The Office before you just want to physically assault a fictional character through your TV screen, yeah? Well, that's how I feel anyway. I just can't do it for very long. It took so long for Steve Carell's character to even be likable. Like, that took a long time to like his character. Longer than I'm usually prepared to invest in a TV show. So, that was a challenge to me. Alright, I think he's getting tired here. Just gotta. I think it's mainly green that I have to correct now. And a little bit of yellow. Actually, I'm gonna fix up that brown while I'm here. And then correct it with the yellow afterwards. Yeah. Yeah, he had a great character arc actually. By the time you get to the end, he's a champion of a character, not entirely selfish. Actually, they're actually a nice human. Just took the entire series to get there. Hey Jenna, you still awake? I think it might be time to knock off soon. It's 10:30, sweetie. That's all. Well, my orky green is dried. I'm gonna have to go get more green. It's not completely dry. It's just dry enough and dead enough in there that I'm gonna have to get more. Oh, here, hun. Look at that. He's all detailed and fully painted up now. Just got to put his helicopter blades on him once I can find them.
Just trying to see where he was. He's really hidden away there.
Yeah, he's hidden in there, isn't he?
He's a short little fella.
He's a short fella in a helicopter, and he's strapped. It's basically a car seat strapped to a helicopter blade or engine.
Is he a dwarf?
No, he's an orc, sweetie.
Right.
Orcs are green. Dwarves are usually flesh-colored with beards.
He's not green.
He's green. Look, green skin.
Not very green.
Well, he's quite green. He's more green than most humans.
I think you need to gloss him up a bit.
I don't want to gloss him up. I like him as he is. He's a darker green.
Ask you here.
I already have asked everyone, and they like the green. Everyone likes the green, right? Cool.
You don't think he needs to be glossed?
Okay, Joanna wants to know if you think that there needs to be more green. I really like the darker olive green. It looks kind of natural to me, almost like the black orcs from fantasy. Whereas Joanna thinks he needs to be much brighter green, a more cheerful goblin green.
So you can see him. He's a bit muted.
He's meant to be muted, hun.
Fair enough.
He's a muted green. It's not screaming greening.
I won't argue with you in the council.
You're not going to argue with the council? Excellent. And Cinder points out that the really bright green ends up looking quite silly on orcs.
I think he just needs a bit of a gloss so you can see him.
Do you mean the glow?
Yeah. I think I do.
A little bit more highlights. You need to be able to see him a bit better, dear hun.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do.
It just looks a bit dull.
Thank you, darling. I'm so glad you think my art looks dull. All my efforts dull.
Oh no.
Yes, dear.
You're alive.
Ah ha 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 ha. Thank you, honey. I'm getting picked on. Oh, Joe, Skit says hello. She's yelling at you. Joanna yells back, hello, Skitsy. And I suppose we'll acknowledge Skits. Hi, Skits. How you doing? Alright, this little dude is coming along. Oh, Skits, now that you're here. Hang on, Toast of London? Okay, Broadsword, I'll have a look at that. Am I going to be annoyed? Maybe. But anyway, Skits. Here is the finished Defcopter. As soon as I can find the helicopter blades, I'll finish them up properly. But at the moment, that's the Defcopter scheme. Bright yellow, a good strong yellow, and the orange. I'm enjoying the orange. The orange and the yellow make it a little bit. Doesn't make it bad moons, which is orange and black. You know, and using the grey in there, I'm enjoying as well. And a duller green. The dull green I'm enjoying on him. Look at his goggles. He's just so happy to be here. Look at him. Where is it? There we go. So yeah, that's coming along. Looking awesome, looking fierce. Thank you very much, Skits. I've got an undercoated this on the underside, so when I stick it down, I won't have all these little shiny grey bits staring at me, and I just can't reach. What else have I got to show you? Oh, and I've gone and put a hero color scheme on a villain model. This is the red cape and the fur and the blue. That's pretty much a Space Wolf color scheme. Space Wolf color scheme, and I've gone and stuck it on a villain model, and I really like it. They look so much better in person, but they look pretty good on camera too. So I'm looking forward to having a whole squad of these lads. They're going to look quite natty. Natty? Nifty? I'm going to like them a lot. And I found my little knobbly thing, which is nice. Nafty. There we go. We'll go with nafty. I think that's a new word. Anyway, back to fixing this dude up. Just gotta fix a little bit of yellow on his pants, and then correct his face a bit, and then I'm gonna hit him with a wash. Oh, look at that. Slip and splat. Love it, don't you? So glad he wasn't finished. I'd be furious. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to do another paint session next week, if I'm going to do another blind build. And I was just lamenting the fact that there's no really complicated or interestingly complicated fantasy kits for blind building, so it's probably back to orcs. Or as soon as a Warlord Titan's available for purchase, or like they produce them again, one of them. I'm thinking I might do extra painting. I'm not sure. I'm all up in the air about it. More painting? Another paint session? Okay. Not sure if they're as entertaining for people as the blind builds, but I do enjoy my paint sessions. Might have to try and knock over the whale shark too. It's not a terrible plan. Alright, that's looking very primary colour. Yeah, it's not looking good yet. I've got to hit that with a wash first. Then it'll start looking good. I do have lots to paint. You're right. Because this guy is... Yeah, I could start start work on this monstrosity next week. That sounds like a solid plan. Alright, fix up this guy's face, and then I'll hit it with a wash. Okay. Oh, now that'd be interesting. A blind build. If I really want to torment myself and everyone watching, see if I can find myself a cheap Imperial Knight Eh? Find myself an Imperial Knight to blind build that. That'd be intense. Cinderpidgey, it's a really big robot. 40k, quite large. Quite large, like massive dreadnought, enormous mecha thing. With a hell of a lot of little moving parts. Or construction bits. I'd say that one might just defeat me. I'd say if there's going to be a blind build that will just stop me dead in my tracks, so to speak, it'd probably be an Imperial Knight. But which Imperial Knight? Because I don't want just any Imperial Knight, because it's not really going to fit in the themed armies I've got. It's not going to be the Paladin. And it's certainly not going to be that Grey Knight monstrosity. That looks ugly. I just don't like the cannon on it. It looks silly. I don't know. I'll have a think. I'll have a think, I will. Get me thinky bits going, I will. Huh. Well, the only thing... oh. What if it wasn't an Imperial thing? What if we stay with the Orky theme? I got myself a Stomper. I pick up a Stomper. And I blind build a Stomper. That could be mad fun. Blind build Orky Stomper. The Mech Boy one, of course. Oh, that's a point. Each box, each kit has multi choices, I think. I'd have to be very careful. Because I might accidentally build a hybrid which isn't going to fly. Well, work. Oh, you did a double game. Did you? Did you now, Broadsword? You got to play 40k. Really? I see. Again, I'm glad you got a game in, buddy. That's good for you. No, it doesn't help. I meant to stomp you. Yeah. No, I don't sound jealous, Skits. I am jealous. There's a difference. One is a possibility. This is a fact. I'm not being mean to Skits. Don't look at me like that. I'm in trouble. You just... No! You don't even know what's going to... I'm not being mean to Skits. I'm How are you on her side all the time? Ah, well. Ah, well. Alright, just making sure I behave myself online. That's what you... One of those two things are true, Skits. You get to pick one. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of paint still left on that. Yeah. Wash it off with drowning... Oh, it's cold coffee too. And now I'm dribbling. Oh, this is great. Extra classy online. Let's go, Murray. Let's go. Gonna go past that. All right. We'll definitely try to get a game in, Broadsword. And you have an excellent evening, sir. You have an excellent week as well. Thank you very much for joining me. Always happy to have you on board. Yeah. Take care, man. coffee in my mustache. I can feel it. It's all gloggy. Don't you laugh. I'll kiss you later. And all you're going to get is smell is old coffee.
Someone doesn't want to kiss me anymore,
Yeah, that's fair enough. Alrighty. Alright, I think it's time to hit this dude with a wash. Now I was gonna go a different color. I've got. Alright, hang on. Skits. Turns out you know a thing about painting. I'm here to thunk it, right? For the Orky lad here, now I went black wash for the vehicle because you know oily, grotty, grimy. You know that makes sense, right? If you're gonna have something black wash on there, it's gonna be on one of these things. They're just grubby. I've gone and got myself, not safe here, Agrax Earthshade. I was wondering if you reckon Agrax on the Foot Trooper, just for a slight difference. I mean, it's not going to be too remarkable, but you keep saying that this one, the Null Oil, is too dark, too heavy. What are your thoughts, Skits? Agrax on the Orky lad? I mean, it seems to do a very similar job. It's just not as harsh. Go Agrax on the Orky lad? Okay. I actually just clicked on my users and there's quite a lot of people just lurking. So hello to all the lurkers. You don't have to answer. Lurking's fine. Um, no, I'm joking to death. But yes, hello to everyone else who's sitting, who's just listening in and watching. You're so welcome and thank you. It's really cool to know that I'm still excited by this. You know, I've got more than 3 people watching. More than me and my mod. It's great. Anyway, let's try. What was that I'm choking on? Anyway, let's try some Agrax. Let's go heavy. I didn't fix the yellow up. Ah, you peasant Simmons. Nice work. Me, not you. Sorry. You peasant dingo. That's me. I say you peasant Simmons and my wife is in earshot. Not the best plan. FYI. Don't accidentally pick fights. Especially when she's as feisty as she is beautiful. Which makes her very feisty. And now she's laughing, so I'm kind of half winning. Not dead yet. Not dead yet. Da, 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 da. Alrighty, that. Actually, no, the Agrax looks good, buddy. Thank you, Skits. That actually looks. Now you really can't tell the difference on camera. I'm sorry. I have to. Once again, I will complain and say I need to get my little better light. I want to get that ring light for my I want to get the ring light or the what is it? The LED donut looking light thing that goes around the camera to really get some proper illumination going on here. But the Agrax actually settles in nicely. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go with brown on the Foot Troops. On the Troopy Boys. And I'll go null on the vehicles. Subtle difference. Subtle difference, but hopefully it's gonna work well, especially on all the metals, because these orcs, my Foot Troops, I want to give a lot of metal because that's a whole signature look. The signature look for the aircraft, and the signature look for the Gee, that's dark, isn't it? What's happened there? Has the contrast or no? That's looks skin tone. Alright, it just looks really dark. Oh well, doesn't matter. Yeah, I want bright yellow, and I want a lot of metal. I want a lot of steel coloured, with little bits of orange on all the Foot Troops. And I've got a lot of boys to paint up, and I'm looking forward to painting them up. I think I'll just slowly be working through my orc army on camera. along with some occasional other things as well. Actually, looking forward to the doing my Titan again. Where is that? Hey, Jenna, can you do us a favor, hon? Please? I just want to bring a model onto screen. Yeah. Come, please. Just get up. Don't argue with me about what sort of model. Could you pull out that drawer over there? Sorry, everyone. I want to show you the Titan I want to work on. Just slide out the the little board. Yep, that bit. Except you see the what it's sitting on. The whole thing slides out. Oh, this could be disastrous. No, not that. The the thing it's sitting on.
The thing it's sitting on.
Yes, it slides.
This.
No, the looks like a shelf. The shelf slides.
This.
No, the shelf. The
Shelf slides.
You thought the whole metal shelf was going to hit the floor just then. Okay, could you give me the purple? The purple and the yellow, the bright yellow head. That one. Yep, that one. Please. I was so close to having everything on the floor just then. All because I'm too lazy to do it myself. That would have been kind of poetic. Now, could you please slide that back so I don't wipe myself out when I get up? Thank you, sweetie. Dear me. Anyway, this is the Titan I want to try and finish off as well. Because I'm liking that color scheme. I've got this thing about yellow, don't I? I just can't get away from yellow. It seems to be the signature in a lot of my armies I'm painting at the moment. I might have to try and fix that. But I want to finish this guy off too. So this one's coming close to completion. It's been washed. It just needs to be dry brushed. So hopefully I'm going to put that on the list to work on as well next time. And once I've finished here, once I finish this lad, this orky lad, he's a big orky boy, then I can progress to the machine. Oh, and this guy stayed there. I'm very happy that the Vin Diesel of Gretchen stayed in place on the back. This whole trike took a nasty trip off the side of a table recently, so I'm quite glad it even functioned. Is even in one piece. Okay, well, gee, there we go. Nearly broke it. Very classy. Well, that is kind of finishing early here tonight because it's only 10:53 and I'm kind of run out of things to paint, haven't I? Because that's done and this is drying and I don't really want to start this one yet. I'm still speculating on what I'm going to do. I'm actually thinking. Actually, no. I'm going to test splatter right now. Let's do it. Let's do it. Stop talking, Murray. Get some paint on the model. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Spot. All right. Yellow. So much yellow. Spot. All right. So we just splatter some yellow on there, right? Because I want to see how an idea looks, and I can look if this is dodgy as that's not the point. I can fix it up later. For those of you who are watching who are professional or semi-professional or just painters with any sort of taste or self-control, this probably upsets you, and I am halfway sorry and halfway amused. So I will mostly apologize because I'm kind of sorry if you're upset. Apart from Skits, who deserves to be more upset. I'm kidding, Joe. No. Okay. So there we go. There's look how amazingly yellow that looks on the side of the trike. Love that. That's going to be fantastic to paint. That's going to look beautiful. However, little spiky bits, right? You see the little stabby bits on the edge there? I'm thinking go back to my orange again. Much like I did on a jet fighter, which I can't reach. Maybe I can reach. Can't even see it. No, I'm not going to risk it. I'll just wipe out half a shelf again. But what I can do is I can go if I go and put the orange on the little spiky bits, and basically every available spiky bit on this model gets oranged up, apart from down here, which is obviously going to... Oh, I'm off camera, sorry everyone. So I'm thinking if I go and... Whoop, wet blending by accident. If I go and make every available little spiky, stabby additional bit out the side of this thing orange, I think that'll give the impression of keeping within the army scheme without overpowering it. I don't want orange to be the primary color, if you know what I mean. And it's such a powerful color. If you overdo it, it's going to look... Oh, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. That is going to look fearsome. So we'll have yellow and orange. This whole back area is probably going to be yellow. Metal is in here, and then yellow patches with some orange bits probably. Don't know if I'll do these. I don't know if I'll do the stabby bits down here orange. That might be silver. The more decorative stabby bits will be orange, I think. And I'll do big orange flames on the side. Probably big yellow head, big orange. Let's test that out. Let's test how that looks. Again, if it sucks, I can just paint over it. Where'd that? There it is. Don't worry, I'll tidy it up properly at some stage, obviously, but this is, like I said, just a color, just a spatter test. Spatter tests by their nature are a mess. Does anyone else spatter test their models? Or is everyone else much more careful and controlled no matter what they're doing? I use a spatter test like a brainstorming session just for but for coloration. Okay, so great big yellow. Yes, no, great. That's good, Cinder. What am I meant to do with a yes, no? It's not a multiple choice. You tend to be precise, pretty precise most of the time, but it depends on what you're doing. Oh, you do both. That's what you meant. You never just do an experimental splat because you're like in a rush or you're not even sure. Okay. Skits, that is. Obviously, Cinder does both. that's gonna be cool. No, it's just test painting. You know, you're just getting paint on the model to see if it's worth your effort and time. That's gonna look pretty nifty. I mean, obviously when I'll do some color variation, I'll do some gradient in there when I dirty it up, and then I'll fade it back in. But I reckon that's gonna look wicked. What do you think, guys? The yellow and the yellow orange blending all over the place. I think with it so very yellow and orange right at the front here, I won't need to do much more in here. I can just probably do lots of actually bronze and silver throughout the rest of here, because I won't really need to have it jumping out too much. I might do here yellow to see if it plays off the following contrast. No, that's not. The flow of the colors. Following contrast. Murray, come on. Try to make something resemble sense. Thank you, Flynn. Where's a smaller splat brush? There we go. Now, so we got yellow to orange. Now we'll this little section as yellow overdo it? That's the question. Or will that visually flow as long as I don't do too much more yellow? I think that highlight, well, I think that little panel works. Yeah? Boom, boom, boom. And then you'll just have you'll have your leathers and you'll have your other colors. You have your leathers and your metals and your blacks on these guys, right? Apart, and then you'll have some team colors on the big guy. But yeah, it flows up, doesn't it? Yeah, I think that does work. That's going to be cool. From the front, it'll flow as well. Yep, that's good actually, because then you're looking down on it like that. Yellow, orange, yellow, lots of green and metals and stabby things, and then more yellow up the back here. It's going to definitely look like it matches the color scheme without overdoing it. Rather happy with that, actually. Rather pleased. Rather pleased. Feeling a little smug. Yeah, well, ow! That's what happens when you're smug. You stab yourself on an orc. Yeah, alright. The bright green. The bright green that Joanna was talking about. I know where the brighter green's going to go. That'll go on the grots. On the Gretchen. Probably use the highlight color for my orc skin. That highlight color is the base for the Gretchen. So where is that? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? That's right. So that'll be the base for the Gretchen. Yeah, hubris followed by stabbage. I could go that as the base and that as the highlight. So they're going to look a little less green, a little more cabbage-like. Or those two. That's a better mix. That's a little... What do you reckon? I'm thinking that one and that one. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 for the Gretchen. Number 3 I don't think fits. So 1, 2, 3. I'm thinking 1 and 2. Cinepg second options. That's 2. Yeah. That's what I'll probably do for the Gretchen. And I still gotta see if I can find Gretchen. Just a little box of Gretchen because I want to have Gretchen all over the place. I want to have lots of grots. All right, well that guy's actually almost dry now. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good indeed. Oh, it's 11:03. There you go. I filled in some time quite nicely there. Cool. Alrighty, I have made a mess on my table. It's just stuff everywhere off camera. Stuff everywhere on camera. So, yeah. Well, that's it. That's. Ow, ow. Oh, come on. There we go. That's it for tonight. Thank you very much for joining me, everybody. Hope you've had a great start to the week. Hopefully, There was a bug in me little. What do you want to call this thing? Me. No, not my coffee. In my paint franger thing, paintbrush protector. Anyway, start again. Hi. Hope you've had a good evening. Hope I've helped contribute to the start of a good week. And hope you go on to have a very good day or a very good evening.